Well, I've been looking forward to this conversation. Doug Lipp is a former Disney hotshot. You were the head trainer at Disney U. Hi, Doug.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to have you here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So you're in town for a special book signing coming up tomorrow at one of our favorite places down in Old Sacramento, Stage 9. Tell us a little bit about Disney U and how it is training people across the world, really.
Well, Disney U is actually an organization started in 1955 before the park opened, and Walt Disney hired my mentor, Van France, to help populate this facade that he created called Disneyland with people who really mattered and cared. And so Disney University is really a philosophy of great service and leadership.
Well, you know, and it has just become this model as well, the Disney model for others. They opened a new Farrell's ice cream parlor here in town. I was talking to the bosses there, and they don't hide it all. They say, we model ourselves after Disney. We have cast members. We want people that are engaged, that are on message, who know who we are, and present that to the public. How do you get regular folks who are prone to screw it up to do it right?
That's the big question. And really, a lot of organizations around the world try to mimic that Disney model, and what it really boils down to is leadership. And what I write about in my book, Disney University, is the 4 concepts that Disney uses that a lot of organizations could use of basically keeping leadership engaged as much as they expect their employees to be engaged. If you engage your employees as your most important customer, then miraculously they're usually engaged with guests.
Well, yeah, and you know, and I know people want to take management to these lofty levels. We were talking earlier. I worked in restaurants for a long time.
Right.
The bosses that were out there when there was a moment when the boss was bussing the table and helping it get set up.
Yeah.
Everybody's energized by that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We use a phrase at Disneyland called walk the park, and Walt Disney himself was known to go out in the park all times of the day or night, interact with employees, customers, and you knew that when the boss was there, he was on top of things, and organizations around the world that do that miraculously do the same thing.
Well, yeah, people are wanting to step up their game, especially if they see the boss walking the talk.
Right.
Talk a little bit about, and don't reveal too much from the book, but what are easy things that people can implement in their everyday lives to kind of up their ante a little bit, be a little more Disney-like?
Easy? Really, it boils down to the leadership. And if they go out and they greet their employees the way they want their employees to greet guests, if they are engaged, involved, that's the easy thing. If leaders are involved, then everything else falls in place.
They just can't sit back on their heels and watch everybody else do it.
Exactly.
Let's talk some about what's going on tomorrow. Stage 9, you know, if you weren't there, I'd recommend people go. That's just a fun place to go hang out. But the bonus is you're there, and actually, you're not alone when you show up
Actually,
tomorrow.
more important is a true Disney legend, a man who worked for Disney for 54 years, who worked directly with Walt, a man named Marty Sklar. He was in charge of Imagineering. He retired as the vice chairman of Imagineering. He was in charge of creating those amazing rides and attractions that so many of us have enjoyed.
Oh man, the stories he could tell!
Yeah. Well, he has his own book that's amazing. It's called Dream It, Do It, and he shares some tremendously innovative stories himself about backstage, what went on, the machinations of creating that show.
Yeah, and you'll be both down there signing books. And, you know, a great local story, and Disney should take some credit as well. Troy at Stage 9 is started off as one shop down there, and his enthusiasm for what he does, and it has grown and grown, I mean, well beyond Sacramento.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Yeah, super. Well, again, tomorrow, what time are you down there tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I think it's around noon tomorrow.
I probably at noon to 4. Okay,
noon to 4.
Yes, Stage 9 in Old Sac, noon to 4. A great place to go hang out, meet Doug, and get books signed by him and Disney legends. And thanks for coming in. You were inspirational for our little visit on the Red Couch this morning.
Thank you very much.
Very nice meeting you.
Our pleasure.